Ooh, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it.
Stop what you're doing.
Who are you? How are you doing this?
Look, man, just shut up and listen. Ooh, forgot how stupid I looked.
What are you talking about? Who are you?
I'm you loser. From the future.
I gotta grind, won't stop, hustle won't quit, shine like no other, I be on some more shit. I got a high price lifestyle, super fast heat. If I want it, then I got it. If I don't, bet all I gotta do is go. Get.
How is this possible?
Please, this is very, very important. Right here is a flash drive, and on this flash drive is a video from a guy on YouTube, all right? He's a fragrance reviewer. His name is Redolessence. He really knows what he's talking about. I stumbled upon it one day and I watched it and I've saved it. This video is going to change our lives. So I came back from the future, man. I need you to look at this. Do you understand? Here, take this.
Ooh. What is YouTube?
Will you just shut up? Oh my God, man, look. This is a formula, a secret formula, okay? I've been holding on to this for many, many years. I had to come back here and show this to you. This is going to help you pick up girls, man. But you've got to take care of the rest first. You understand me? Take it.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Oh, one more thing. Whenever YouTube starts up, buy stock in it, you dig?
Ooh. I don't know. Okay.
Hello everyone, Steven here from Redolessence with another fragrance review. And today we have a fragrance from the house of Lab on Fire, a niche fragrance house, and this one is called L'Anonyme ou OP-1475-A. And of course L'Anonyme is French and that translates to the anonymous or OP-1475-A. So this is a fragrance that could either have one or two names. It goes by both, the former being lexical, the latter being numerical. And indeed, if you look for this one on Lucky Scent's website, it's only listed under L'Anonyme, the former, whereas if you look for this on Min New York's website, it's listed under both. So I hope that could clear up a little bit of confusion that could possibly arise from the name of this fragrance. Now the idea for this fragrance, and what we do in Paris is Secret, and every other fragrance from the Lab on Fire line, originated when the folks at Lab on Fire posed themselves with the following question. Why does a niche fragrance always have to be so expensive? And the answer is, it doesn't. It doesn't always have to be so expensive. So they still aim to hire very reputable perfumers. They still spend a lot of not necessarily money, but time and effort into their packaging. And they still spent a considerable amount of effort in constructing a fragrance that smelled not only pleasant, but didn't really utilize the most expensive ingredients on the market. And the end result is L'Anonyme. So this is a fragrance that smells very pleasant, doesn't utilize any super expensive ingredients, and is still very, very affordable. Indeed, I have the 60 milliliter bottle here to my left, 2 ounces, and I paid under $100 for this one. I paid only $90. So it is an excellent value, but it is an eau de toilette concentration. Now, as far as the name, the anonymous or L'Anonyme, why not give this one a name, like your other fragrances? Well, the reason being is that they wanted to create a fragrance that aimed to simplify things, that was both simplistic, minimalist, and spiritualistic at the same time. So I think they decided that they didn't want to complicate things, so they chose not to give this one a name, and I agree with that. So, L'Anonyme, what does it smell like? Well, in the top we have bergamot, in the mid we have geranium, and then in the base we have wood notes and suede leather, but probably also a little bit of musk. Now this seems like a fairly simple composition, and I'm sure there is a lot more going on in this fragrance, but Lab on Fire doesn't want to give away all of their secrets. But this one does open up very citrusy. So it opens up with the bergamot, which is a smell that we're all very familiar with. It's very traditional. I would even be inclined to call it a bit generic, but then something very special happens. When it progresses into the mid of this fragrance, which is about 2 hours later, the geranium really starts to peek its head through. And the one thing that I really appreciated about that is that geranium is a very versatile ingredient. What I mean by that is it can go from smelling very floral to smelling very fruity. also even tart, if I can use that word. And this fragrance actually tricked my nose. I sprayed this on my skin. 2 hours later, I was convinced that the bergamot was persisting very well into the mint. And I was sure in the back of my head that that wasn't possible, being that bergamot is a very volatile ingredient. But indeed, it was the geranium playing a trick on my nose, giving this one a very fruity, tart, maybe even like a hint of citrus in there. So that tricked me very much. And then of course, when we progress a little bit more, maybe in the 3rd hour or the 4th hour of application, we get the suede leather and the wood notes. Now it has to be noted that this is suede leather. It's not like the leather you would find in a baseball glove, on a leather wallet, on a horse's saddle. It's not that type of smell. So if you're thinking Bulgari Black, Midnight in Paris, that's not it. The only other fragrance that really comes to mind when I think about suede leather is 99 by Rocawear. But I have to say that the suede leather in this one is much, much more prominent. So much so that it's actually very evident even from the very start. Now of course I know it's a base note, but for me it's very perceivable in the opening. It's just that the bergamot and the geranium wants to rush up into your nasal cavity before even giving the suede leather a chance. So this one, for me, at least for me, it's very evocative of a brand new suede leather jacket that just came out of the factory, that you just bought at a department store. And for that reason, it makes me inclined to want to wear this one in the winter, because that's when I would want to wear a suede leather jacket. Now being that it is citrus heavy up on top, this one is exclusively reserved for the spring and summer seasons, but I could see myself wearing this in the fall and winter as well. It is a little bit unusual, but just take that with a grain of salt and see what you have to think about this one. So with the smell covered, let's transition over into the rating for this fragrance. So first I have uniqueness, and this one earned a 6 out of 10. Yes, this one did not earn a very high mark just because they aimed to create a fragrance that was very simple, and it is indeed very simple. It opens up very traditional, even generic, and then in the progression is when something unique happens. So this one earned a very well above a 5. And then of course for longevity, we have 8 out of 10. Surprisingly, this is an Eau de Toilette concentration, so I was only expecting this one to last anywhere between 4 to 6 hours, maybe a little bit more than that, but not crossing that threshold by too much. This one surprised me with 10 hours on my skin. It does stop projecting after the 3rd hour. It becomes a skin scent after the 5th, so it probably only projects about a foot or half a foot away from you. But for close encounters, I feel this is very appropriate, and it's an excellent work scent for me, especially now in the fall. So an 8 out of 10 for longevity and an 8 out of 10 for projection. This one projects very, very well, and when it's supplemented by that geranium, it just serves to augment the smell or the citrus and tart qualities of the bergamot. But it only does so for 2.5 hours the most. That's the most that I've gotten on my skin. So 8 out of 10 for projection. And then for versatility, remaining consistency with yet another 8 out of 10. Like I said, this one is to be worn in the spring and summer season just because of the citrus heavy top. But the suede leather tricks my mind the same way that the smell tricked my nose. And I would be inclined to wear this one in both the fall and the winter as well. This is a unisex fragrance, so men could wear it just as readily and easily and as accessibly as women can. So it is versatile in that regard, and I could picture someone in high school all the way to someone in their 70s and 80s wearing this one. It is a very generic, traditional kind of smell, but it smells very natural, and it smells very fresh and very organic, so it does have so much going for it in that regard. And then up last we have presentation. I gave this one a 9 out of 10. It did not earn a perfect mark, and here's the reason why. Their packaging is very simple. And that's one of the ways that this company can afford to not put such a big dent in the consumer's wallets, because they didn't put too much money in their packaging, and consequently you're not affected by it. So the end result is something that looks like a Ziploc bag. It's a resealable pouch. It reminds me of some sort of perishable good. Whether it's a deli meat or frozen vegetables, something that belongs in your fridge or a freezer. But it is a very sleek packaging. It is something that's never been done before, and it's something that I had to give credit to because credit is due here. And then of course with the bottle itself, we have a cable tie wrapped around the bottom portion with the name on it. So it seems very homemade. It does have that homemade feel to it, and I thought that that was very clever. And then the stopper here up on top is nothing but foam padding. So be careful when you're traveling with this one, because you can actually press down hard enough, and even with the foam stopper on there, you can manage a little bit of liquid from the bottle can manage to escape. So be careful with that one very much if you're traveling with it. So a 9 out of 10 for presentation, and this one earns an overall mark of 39 out of 50. So that was my review. I hope you enjoyed it, and give this one a try. It might just change your life.
Here goes nothing.
Whoa.
Ain't nobody don't ask me, I'm just so fresh and so clean. Don't you think I'm so sexy? I'm just so fresh and so clean.
I'm missing one and I'm just getting started, bitches.